I'm outside, 36 Eden Drive in Conway Heights. I just got here and the door's kicked in, and no one's answering when I call inside. There was the faint sound of fingers clicking on a keyboard, and the operator spoke again. Her voice was warm and calm. There was a Libra lilt to it, which was reassuring. "All right. I'm sending a patrol car to you. Can I have your name, please?" "Rachel Wells." "And is it your home?" "No," said Rachel. "I work for Jiffy Clean. I'm a maid." "All right, Rachel. It'll be about 8 minutes until the officers get there. I just need to ask you a few more questions, okay, hun?" Hun. Definitely a Libra. "Yeah, sure," said Rachel. "Okay. Can you tell me what you look like, so the officers will recognize you when they get there?" "Sure. I'm about 5'8", 5'9". I've got blonde hair, and I'm in a blue check dress with a white apron. Is that enough?" She waited, but there was no response. "Hello?" she said. For a moment she thought she'd been cut off, but she could hear a distant voice. She lowered the phone and could still hear it. A man was speaking nearby. On the left side of the house was a garden wall covered with climbing flowers and an ornate cast-iron gate with peeling white paint. She heard the man's voice again coming from behind it, and felt a flood of relief. Of course. The client was in the backyard, which is why he hadn't answered when she called. Everything was fine. She pushed down on the gate's latch and went through, touching her hair to make sure her ponytail hadn't come loose. "Hello?" she called again. "Mr. Williams?" She followed a path around the side of the house, through a wicker arch covered in dying vines. The house was built on a hillside, and the lawn sloped down to give a view across the city, all the way to the WSCR Tower. Behind the house was an empty swimming pool. There was a trench dug into the ground next to it, and the paving slabs on one side had been pulled up and stacked against the back wall of the house. "Hello, Rachel," said the operator on her phone. Rachel brought it back up to her ear. "Hey, sorry, I thought I heard something." "From the house?" "No, from the backyard. But there's no one here." "Rachel, listen to me," said the operator. "I need you to go to the front of the house so the officers know they're at the right place." Her voice was firm, and Rachel was good enough with people to detect something else. It was fear. As Rachel turned back to the gate, she heard a new noise. It was a straining, choking sound just on the edge of her hearing. She froze and listened. After a few seconds it came again, from the trench by the pool. "There's someone here," she said. "Rachel," said the operator sharply, "please go back to the road." But Rachel was already running to the side of the trench. "Oh, God," she said. "Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God!" "Rachel," said the operator. The man at the bottom was about 50 years old. He had short white hair and was wearing black trousers and a long-sleeved white shirt that was stained with mud at the back and blood at the front. His eyes were able to focus on her for only a second before they rolled back in his head. His mouth was taped closed, and one of his nostrils ran with blood. Rachel dropped her plastic bag and ran to the side of the trench, looking for some way to help. "Ambulance!" she shouted into the phone. "Oh, God! Ambulance!" The operator's voice stayed calm. "Who's injured, Rachel?" "He's an old man. He's been cut open across the belly. His guts! Oh, God, I can see his guts! I thought they were a hose pipe or something. They're in the mud." Rachel caught the smell of it and gagged. The intestines were punctured. She took a step back from the trench and took a deep breath. She'd always told herself that she would be able to handle herself in an emergency. She knew her priorities, people first. She breathed in the clean air and stepped forward again.